Get your glasses up. Get your glasses up. A toast to the men.
Toasters, Travis Rudolph was found not guilty, and that is the correct verdict. I had a feeling that would happen. I made a video about this trial, about Travis Rudolph and his situation a few days ago, and I expressed I felt like he would get off, that he should get off. I thought it was a righteous kill. I thought he was justified and protecting himself by force, by deadly force. Unfortunately, that's what it had to come to, but it was out of his hands at some point. You know, those guys showed up with aggression, weaponized, with intent, and he had to do what he had to do. But there's a lot he can learn from this moving forward. There's a lot people watching this can learn, and a lot of women can learn. And hopefully, you know, the young lady, Dominique Jones, the ex-girlfriend or ex-lover, can learn from this also. But it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. Someone's gone, someone lost a son, a brother, you know, a cousin, maybe, you know, a father, not sure, but someone's gone. Even though it's justified, it's righteous. Uh, Another man was trying to protect his life and his brother's life from an aggressor. It's justified, but a life is gone. I think this case was primarily won because of the shady and sloppy work of the lead detective. Sloppy work and the lack of accountability from the lead detective. She didn't care. She was unapologetic. She made a lot of excuses. She lied a lot also, which was pointed out by a defense attorney. And I also think uh, the jury was swayed also by the attitude and the non-accountability from Dominique Jones, the ex-lover. She was rude. She was abrasive. I mean, um, dismissive, unapologetic as well. And is it ironic? Two females, two black females, that seem to be from different spectrums of life, had the same type of attitude, had the same non-accountability, no compassion, dismissive, feisty, salty attitude. And this is what I think swayed the jury. Because we do know that brothers are found in this situation often. And even though it looks like they're innocent, it looks like they should be found not guilty, the jury can be swayed another way because of prejudices, subconscious racist thoughts, or, you know, they're not just totally swayed. But I felt like Travis's lawyer was grade A. He was on point, very persuasive. But I think just what really nailed it was Dominique Jones' testimony and the lead detective's testimony. That's what swayed it. There was no way they could have found that gentleman guilty just off of their testimony alone. Aside from him, you know, standing his ground, even though they didn't invoke that law, but he was standing his ground at his home, protecting himself against armed, angry men. You know, aside from Dominique Jones sending a text message to her brother saying, shoot his shit up. Now, will she be charged? I doubt it. I doubt it. She won't be charged, and the gentleman won't be charged either. Although it's on tape, her hitting him. She claimed he hit her, but that's not on tape. He had cameras outside the home, and so that's not on the cameras. But it is on the cameras. She hitting him. Um, there is proof that she admits that she sent a text message saying shoot his shit up. You know, someone would say, well, that's attempted murder. Well, I don't think you're gonna get her on that. But I feel at the least, they can get her for a terroristic threat. Terroristic threat. And I know the jury is sequestered, um, you know, from the public, and they're isolated from the public, and television and things like that. I believe that was activated or invoked. But I was telling someone, man, if this jury knows that this is national, this is reaching national news. I don't know about international, but if they know it's reaching national news, there's no way they're gonna find this man guilty. No way. Um, so hopefully everybody involved can grow from this, can learn from this, because at the end of the day, man, we gotta love each other. We gotta forgive each other, and we can't keep record of the wrongs we did against each other. I mean, that might sound soft, but man, if you want to live a long, healthy life, I encourage you to do that. And that's something I work on constantly. Not keeping a list, not keeping a record of people I feel wronged me, and also forgiving myself for transgressions. Um, I just want peace of mind, man. So I encourage y'all to do that. Forgive yourself, forgive others, let it go. Doesn't mean you have to have a relationship, but let it go. Hold no bitterness on your heart or mind at all. But one thing I saw post verdict is Travis Rudolph celebrating outside the courtroom and with family and friends, and that's cool. But it appears he was at a home, someone's home celebrating, and they were listening. He was listening to Lil Durk, and in the lyrics, it was mentioned about making hits, killings, getting off with the killing, not snitching. And at one point, his mom was about to talk to him. He paused her, stopped her from talking, so he could get to a lyric to where it mentioned such talk. So he wanted to hear that lyric. And it's cool for that brother to celebrate a not guilty plea. I don't even know how that feels, you know. But I think he has to be cognizant and be responsible and making sure he's compassionate because a life was taken. And although he was in the wrong, he was in the right, he was justified. He should be compassionate and be humble and show humility. Even in a righteous kill, you can show humility. Now, should he be remorseful? No. So should he show contrition? No, because he was not in the wrong. He was justified. But he should show compassion, in my belief. Those are two different things. He should have no guilt on his heart at all. At all. He should have no guilt. But you can still be compassionate, um, and just respect life and respect death and the journey and respect the fact that and be humbled by the fact that this could have went another way. There was no guarantee he was going to be found not guilty. Um, I think that's very important. It's very important because I've seen situations where if people have been exonerated, released from prison after serving 10, 15, 30 years, and they go right back in after being found innocent or been exonerated years later, they go right back in a few years later. And I always wonder, why does this happen? And I come up with two reasons. One, it may be because they're institutionalized, they've been broken. Two, the ego. The ego. You can start believing you're indefensible, um, especially when you come off of winning a trial like this. Man, I can only imagine what he feels inside. And so you got to be careful that you don't let the ego blow up too big and you lose focus and lose a sense of reality. And you just begin to do dark, toxic things and you end up back in the same situation. and you may be found guilty, and you may be indeed guilty the next time. I mean, we saw that with OJ. Man, that was a trial of the century. OJ should have went undercover, low key. Um, but I think the ego from beating a case like that, it has to do something to your ego. I guess, if you can relate to this, if you guys ever been in fights as a youngsters and against bullies, and nobody picked you to win, nobody picked you to beat up this bully. This bully was beating up everybody. And it was your time now to face this bully. Nobody picked you. You said at 3 o'clock is going down and nobody picked you. People prayed for you. Your best friend and students prayed for you. You were praying. And you whooped the bully. You whooped him decisively. That does something to you. That does something to your ego, to your confidence too. And if you're not careful, you'll become the bully. And then you'll have to be humble, like the guy you just humbled. Man, checks and balances. And so I hope that doesn't happen to the young man. But yeah, it just put a bad taste in my mouth that he was celebrating to that degree with that type of music, with those types of lyrics. But he should definitely celebrate his freedom. But I thought it could have been more tasteful and shown more humility. Yeah. So let me know what y'all think in the comments, toasters. As always, from me to you, love. Peace.